Okay, so just continuing on with the London Road Models kit review, we've had a look at the kit itself and everything that it contains. All looks very good indeed. And now I'm going to show you the parts that I've bought in order to complete the kit and turn it into a full working locomotive. So first of all, we need a gearbox. And the gearbox that I like to use is a High Level Kit's gearbox. I find that gearboxes are very, very reliable indeed. They go together very easily and they're also a reasonable price. Chris Gibbons at High Level offers excellent customer service, and it's simply an X gearbox that you fold up. It includes all the gears, I won't take those out, the shaft there, all the gears and spacers that you need in order to turn that into a working gearbox. Different ratios available depending on the speed of the motor that you're using. All of that is on his excellent website, so just have a look at that and it shows you how to calculate the top speed of your locomotive. For this one I've gone for a 1:60 ratio gearbox, which should give a top speed of just around 40 miles an hour, which is fine for a locomotive of this type. What it also does at that ratio means that the motor itself is running at a higher RPM, and therefore you get smoother control at low speeds. If you're using DC, then the motor is obviously running directly in relation to how much voltage you put through it, and the higher you can run the motor, the faster you can run the motor, the smoother it will be at low speed. So that's the High Level Kit's gearbox, very nice. Hopefully I'll show you in the future how I go about building one of those. The next thing that we need is a motor, and this is the motor that I'm going to use. This is a Mishima 1428 motor. It's quite a large motor, it just about fits inside. Here's the boiler itself, so as you can see it just about goes inside there like so. It's quite a tight fit, but I always like to try and fit the biggest motor I can possibly into the engine. And here you can see I've fitted it with a flywheel. That again just helps with the slow speed running, because we've got only 6 wheels basically. It's a 060, so we don't have a huge amount of pickup. This flywheel just helps to give a bit of inertia, a bit of momentum to the locomotive and just carry on over any dead spots in the track. So hopefully that'll all fit in. And this is the end that will connect onto the gearbox there. So very nice motor. Mishima unfortunately no longer in production, but they are still available. Prices probably start to go up soon as they go out of production. But anyway, that's the motor. Next, of course, we need wheels and axles. These are the Romford axles there. I won't take those out, but they have a square end. I'll show you the back of the wheels. These are set to double O gauge. Here are the wheels that I'm using, as you can see there, LNER 5'2", all insulated. That's because I'm possibly building for DCC as well. It means that I can completely insulate the chassis and ensure there's no short circuits on that. There's the wheel. Hopefully you can see that, nicely spoked. Obviously it's in its unpainted state. And there's the rear of the wheel. You can see the square axle holding there, and also the insulated edge there. So that's how to tell whether wheels are insulated. If they're insulated, they'll have, I think this may be cardboard or something like that, just insulating between the centre axle and the rim. If they're not insulated, then that won't be there, and that'll be a live axle wheel. 6 of those, and then we also have, also from Romford Market, 16mm LMS BR Fowler 12-spoke bogie wheels. This is for the tender. Nice wheels, all for the tender, and these have plastic bushes just inside here. I don't know if you can see that, just in there. And that just insulates them from the tender. I'll also use some insulating washers as well, just to protect that and make sure there's no short circuits. Right, optional extras then. I replaced those parallel based buffers with 4mm northeast taper buffer, because the locomotive that I'm building has got taper buffers. So I've just replaced those out with some additional ones. Always handy to have spare buffers though in your in the stash, just in case you want to build something else. I mentioned that I was going to replace the safety valves. Here are those, turned brass, much finer, much nicer detail on that. They're quite a prominent feature of the locomotives. They're kind of on top, and it's where you view the locomotive, so I like to make sure that they're as correct as they can be. And then finally, just to finish this off, we've got the steam heat pipes and the vacuum pipes. These are from Romford Markets, as you can see, and they're very, very nice turned brass. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get that. Very, very nice turned brass vacuum pipes and steam pipes. Much finer looking. Very easy to fit. The end of the pipe there just slots into the end of the pipe there, and you just solder it on. They look much nicer, I think. And the steam heat pipe there, again easy to fit, just plugs in like so onto the bottom of the locomotive. Okay, well that's it, that's my kit review. Overall I think it should build into a very nice locomotive. It's not going to fall together, it's not going to be super easy, but with a little bit of thought, a little bit of planning, some careful soldering, we should be able to turn it into a very nice kit indeed. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and I'll put in the